Nick Cannon alleges I need help as he reveals his narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis now that a gentleman has come to the forefront and acknowledged that he does have NPD, what does it mean for the rest of society? Not to mention, will it bring more men to the forefront and acknowledge that they are also struggling? Now, let's look at this article from a therapist's perspective. Earlier this month, the Masked Singer host 44 shared he's been diagnosed with NPD. He's been opening up about his struggles as part of how he manages his day to day. Okay. Now, does this open up the door for more men to come out and share their struggles? How they've also been trying to figure out and overcome NPD. Okay, a lot of women, a lot of men have been in relationships with people who have NPD, but because of the stigma, but because of a lot of things, we have not talked about it more. And I think because the NPD diagnosis has been so watered down by social media, everyone thinks that because he don't like me, he must be a narcissist. The date didn't go well, he must be a narcissist. That is not true. And the thing I think about this that's different than when Amanda Seales came out and said that she was living with ASD, it sounds like Nick Cannon went through multiple tests, psychiatrists, and people to work through to give him this diagnosis. Now, some of y'all might be surprised. Other people are like, I saw it the whole time. Now, being in a relationship with the man who has NPD, all these different women, I wonder if for some of them it shows like, oh, it makes sense. While other women, oh, I never even saw that coming. But looking at the dynamics between himself, how he shows up, it shows you just how some men really do want an answer. They want to figure out, they want to get better. And most people, they don't just have one diagnosis or disorder, they have multiple. See, here Nick also discusses living with ADHD. As a kid, it was dyslexia. But just knowing that I'm just a neurodivergent individual, I kind of always knew that there was something. A lot of people who are getting diagnosed later in life with ASD, ADHD, all these different diagnoses now, personality disorders, it's almost like they knew something was there, but maybe they didn't know the words. Maybe they were just so stigmatized. Maybe they were like, I feel these things, but if I speak about them out loud, people are going to think I'm crazy. People are going to think that something's wrong with me. Are they going to take my kids from me? Depending on if you're a woman living with certain disorders and diagnoses, you've been taught that you need to keep that shit inside. You need to not talk about that because then people are going to take your kids. But I think as a therapist, we are starting to pull back the layers and talk about these different disorders. And for men living with NPD, do you think that we're in a world now where people are more accepting, or will it be another label? And Nick, he talks about the labels. I feel there are so many labels out there, but it's like to be able to embrace it and say, look, I'm healing. I need help. Show me. I just embrace mental health and therapy in such a strong way, he says, to be able to say I'm an example for others, but also be healing during the self process. See, people forget that healing is a process and it looks different for different people. And as much as we talk about healing, we don't talk about people just wanting help. Okay, no matter if you're diagnosed with depression, you're diagnosed with something such as borderline personality disorder, those things, they're so stigmatized nowadays that people just don't know how to be honest with the world about what they're going through. And Nick here is asking for help. It all started when, Dr. Cheyenne went on there and they were talking about different things related to mental health and him being clinically diagnosed with NPD. Okay, but I want to know your thoughts. Do you guys think that we're living in a world now where people are more open, when we're more open to discussing NPD? Do you think that it'll continue to be a label where it's just more like, okay, he got this, that makes sense, he all about himself, he don't care about nobody? There are layers to NPD that we really don't talk about, and really don't take the time to dig deeper and digest. We are living a microwave generation where people are like, oh, I Googled it. Yeah, you fit the criteria, okay? See, this Google page really tells me, yeah, you a narcissist. But there are layers, there are testing, there are things related to childhood trauma, there are different things that people don't want to dig deeper. Everybody wants that quick solution, that quick answer, okay? To label their baby daddy a narcissist, they mama, they daddy, but what about the people behind that label? What about the people who are struggling, who really want help? And I encourage other people to start really breaking the stigma, start talking more about these diagnoses, more than just we talk about depression, more than what we talk about anxiety, the deeper layers, and not to just jump to, oh, I Googled it and it said, yeah, you're a narcissist. It just don't work that way.